So, building a coven. Days pass. I cast some dozen or more sigils, all unique, with their own magical identities and truths, hermetically sealed within the circumference. As I continue staring through her eyes, reciting the Fibonacci and exponential sequences forwards and backwards, I have now taken to reciting a mantra. Anytime I have the house to myself, I produce the board, my grimoire of sigils, and set to task. Seems we're all lost, wondering how A became B, time and place transmute, camaraderie degraded to conspiracy, the heart betrayed by the mind, love as a weapon, hope and trust as weakness, the Hollywood game. I'm told I'm coming home, that she loves me, and she alleges that she can't let any of these other witches have me, knowing how savage my authority is. It is true I likely would not have revealed myself. It is true I likely would not have revealed myself if Willow had worked her charms on me. But in that way, she wouldn't have let me go, because she can't break me. And now we see she can't on any level. So I suppose it is better, as now I can time travel and see who Shakespeare really was, where the manuscripts were lost to the ravages of time. Watch Atlantis fall, a nation of wicked magicians, as Blavatsky says. Watch the devout die for their faith in the Circus Maximus, the crucifixion. Moses parts the Red Sea, the Weed Sea, Nimrod in the Tower of Babel, the Great Flood, Abraham's sleep while the Lord made his covenant, Daniel in the lion's den, Romulus and Remus building Rome on a hill, St. Peter crucified upside down, Confucius, Buddha, Lao Tzu, feudal Japan, dinosaurs, the Big Bang, the future, the technocratic fantasy, or Mad Max, the Walking Dead-esque oblivion. Could vampires exist? I see psychic vampires. Only one true one, but I see it now. A celestial cascade. How to wield it, how to manifest it in the mind's eye. I know that for a time, there has been software that shows you the night sky at any location at any time. And in that way, it is worth pointing out a traditional Egyptology, a cartel as with the Stratfordians, placed the construction of the pyramids at Giza at, say, 4500 BC. However, the precession of the equinox has Orion, obviously the inspiration for the alignment of the three main pyramids, as the last constellation visible in the eastern sky before sunrise at 10,500 years ago. Just coincidence, so they say. But the weather erosion patterns of the Sphinx also suggest antediluvian origins, with those pyramids being perhaps the only surviving contemporaries of Atlantis. Or perhaps the first monuments built after the fall. Space travel, to live in the heart of the sun. It's all there. The ultimate vision board. I'm told I'm coming home. The crusade has never been more crystallized in my mind. The vision board returns. This is what we all can do. So funny. What a fucking game. Game on, so funny, let's have a laugh. Approaching apotheosis. I could let it go, but there is nothing stopping either of us. However, the focus required to yield anything regarding visualization must be absolute. And so while embedding my conscious mind within hers, I remind myself that the brain is not the mind, nor the mind the brain. The brain is a physical organ, structured according to necessity, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, whose roots suspend in heaven, and whose branches and tendrils reach downward into the world. Mind is everywhere, whose radius is everywhere, and whose circumference is nowhere. There is no grandmother cell. Memory, emotion, ambition, all reside ethereally in the subtle auric egg of creation. When casting my sigils, nearly all of them, with exceptions of course, are revealed by the finite relationships defining the interplay of the two equilateral triangles of the Star of David. In my reverie, before every arc is cast through the area or line drawn upon it, I set my compass or pencil, stare into the bound eternity until her face emerges, recite my mantra, and conjure thereby. Other times I rest, sitting in a cheap recliner, with her picture inches from my face. Eventually, I see a reflection in her eye, her right eye. I see it as a person holding a phone, and curse her with remembrances of me every time she stares at her iPhone 16. One of the first secrets revealed to me. After staring intently, securing our psychic quantum entanglement, I then close my eyes and stare into the heart of oblivion. Magnetic ribbons of light betray visions of moments occurring across the globe, all depraved, all debauched. I have seen many things. A house on a hill, a whore drinking a purple smoothie before blowing some guy, a Tesla. One time, when she realized I was there, she stopped, to which the guy lamented, "What, I still have time?" To which I said, "What, are you a hooker, bitch?" And her father said, "You're right, she's been an escort a long time." I later learned she charges $500 an hour. Not too high, you ask me, given her station. Almost like it's a sick joke. $500 an hour, she eats ass and is into bondage. Now her debasement is immaculate. And no matter how soon I arrive, she zealously continues, mocking me for falling in love with an evil witch whore, for trusting that she understood magic, for believing no one would ever conspire to lie in the house of God in Solomon's temple. I have ejaculated at the same time as her clients, going on a dozen times. Now, counting, reciting, watching, listening, hovering my sigils over the city, the building, the bodies copulating, and the sexual organs themselves. At the instant of climax, I visualize HIV being cultivated in the seminal tract, as is true, and tie my intention to their anatomy by the sigils, hovering perpetually in my brain, as well as within and around them. And though she recognizes that she can force men to come in their sleep, she does not recognize or appreciate how the same energy can mutate cellular structure and implant live viral cultures into any cell. It is transcendental, not mechanical. Not based reductionist materialistic science, as with the laying of hands or prayer. Every time upon completion, I smear my expectorant all over the board with an HIV molecule connecting her picture to an anatomical diagram, specifically to the seminal tract the disease is cultivated in, which I have stabbed from Genesis to Exodus with an X-Acto knife as a through line of intention, screaming every time, "So fucking funny! What a fucking joke! Here lies Willow Hoffman, a hooker dead from AIDS. Hilarious! We're playing the magic game. Here I thought we were just magic, but no, we're playing the magic game. Die, bitch, die! You fucking miserable cunt!" As time marches forward and Willow, as well as myself, become colder and more distant from each other's hearts, if unified completely in the mind, Willow wonders about my persistence, and Annabella offers her wisdom. "Willow, you've lived a sheltered life in a lot of ways. And the people who can do these things, though few in number, all operate on equal footing," she tells her. "He's not going anywhere. I know it's a lot and aggressive, but it's a blessing. He's come into our lives to save you from destroying yourself." To which she replies, "Why would he continue knowing I never loved him?" And Annabella replies, "This is about respect and understanding, not love. Submission. You lied using magic, so he's coming for your life." To which Annabella's father says, "Anything less than complete devotion to your submission, to honor, beauty, truth, and goodness will betray something fundamental within him. Magic is serious." To which she says, I've always done what you showed me." And he replies, "And with this regard, we are responsible and have apologized already, and will continue to. However, I know," she says, "there was nothing keeping me from asking." Exactly. That's the point. Her emotions are a true mirror to her actions. Every morning, in reverence to my prowess, saying, "I feel the dragon's breath. I feel the savage divinity. I feel the sigils hovering over and within me." And then, as soon as her phone reminds her she's a prostitute, she forgets all about me, my power, and jeers at me as I blast her with psychic rage and visions of disgusting ovarian cysts filled with hair and pile and pus. With the tracing I spent 5 hours on, attacked to top it on the board. So funny, what a joke. What a fucking joke. Magic games. Will is the law. So funny. Anthropomancy. Manna from heaven. The motions of the heavenly bodies, the unity of mind, the power of will and intention. Pure comedy. My mantras are many, reaching back a decade as tactics of meditation. There are 4 that we have taken to memory. In the beginning, settling into the hive mind, I would recite love, 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 love. When my mind, still adjusting, would degenerate into violent reveries of despair. Second, upon arrival here, when thinking there is something wrong with me, unsure of my thoughts, or my control and possession of them, I would yell, death, blood, bone, gore, mutilation, humiliation. Now on my campaign, I have several more that have developed. The third is, all that you see I know. I am the light in your eye. All that you know I see. All that you know I see. I am the light in your eye. All that you see I know. Willow asks, what is it? To which Annabella's father replies, it's nothing. It's magic. In my reveries, my conjurings, as this is the first and hopefully last time I must breathe celestial plasma, my understanding and tactics have evolved in real time, if at the speed of light, due to my degrees of initiation. The architecture of the curse is typically threefold. All 3 involve number. The first, though only chronologically, they are equal in merit, different magic coagulating into omnipotence, is the recitation of the first 11 digits of the Fibonacci backwards, first, 89 to 1, then the incantation, then up from 1 to 89. The gravitational collapse along the psychic nautilus shell running 2-fold, if 5-fold, which is to say 10-fold, between myself and the others. Though my incantations are always and forever only directed at Willow, I do feel that Alistair, Annabella, and her father all love me very much. And while Willow continues to espouse her care and love for me, how I am the only man she can ever love, which, on the coldest intellectual truth, must be true, as I am the only man she can never have psychic advantage over. As she is there and I am here, I call bullshit psychic lies and must continue. It is necessary, though so painful, as I am in love with her, because magic has rules and her privileges are revoked. The power is pulled down from heaven, the upper atmosphere, the exosphere, around and within, from the elemental forces beyond the comprehension of man and his instruments. Distributed from the brain through the nervous system, the 12 meridians, the 7 chakras, every organ, organ system, and cell within the body. The second is rooted in vortex mathematics. I say 396,693, 124,875,8421, 124,875,78421, 396,693. The sigil is associated with the subdivision of the circle into 9, unlawful, and 124875 being the septenary number, which contains all numbers except 3, 6, and 9. The third is the exponential values run backwards from 81 to 1. Then the spell is cast, then the ascent back from 1 to 81. In my stillness, in meditation, in seeking, not rage, I focus on her image reciting my mantra. Spitting on her face and screaming as much as I want. But after a time, say 10 minutes, maybe more, sometimes less. In truth, we are so bound I need do very little. I close my eyes and cast my sigils over the city. Sometimes they loom massive, rotating slowly counterclockwise over the whole city. The angelic triads of the Shimham Farash, producing tendrils of light seeking their target. Other times, several of them dash rapidly from neighborhood to neighborhood, always rotating, but now with the quickness of spirit. Other times, several of them coagulate, defining with great circles the convex hull of a sphere enclosing all of them, transmuting and mutating into and through each other, as Ezekiel's wheels within wheels, and the wheels were full of eyes. Inevitably, every time, a light, a photon emerges underneath. All over downtown, Santa Monica, Beverly Hills, and then my psychic ear can hear and my psychic eye can see. Then I am in the room. I admit my musical background has attenuated my ear. I hear much better than I see. My physical eyes are bad. Though I do see much too much. At least one threesome, wherein Olive and Willow are certain I gave her AIDS, and I admit it is a powerful memory. I came with my sigils hovering over them, smeared it all over her picture, the molecule in the seminal tract all the way up to the tip, screaming, "Die, bitch of AIDS, so funny, so fucking funny, I blink, you die, what a fucking joke!" 1 hour later in conversation with them all, with my eyes fully open, I saw in my mind's eye a full color image of her on her knees, with my sigil of her name and the Shimam Farash divided into 4 sets of 18, collapsing to the radial point behind her, in the geometric center of the brain, single point perspective. And my conscious awareness, imbued with the desire to poison her with AIDS, exploded out of that John's cock. I saw her smear it all over her face, and then my consciousness traveled down her esophagus as she swallowed it. So funny, high fucking comedy. Sometimes I see my sigils even better with my eyes open, as far as casting them. Right? She even said she felt I was there. What a joke. Everyone says, with the exception of Willow, that my ability to endure these months on the street, knowing I have this dragon inside of me, is a testament to my divinity. Willow is bewildered when she considers it. She asks, "He's always had this power?" And they affirm, "They have all witnessed me reference nothing. No books, no resources, save compass and square." To which she asks me, "Why would you endure all those months on the street?" To which Annabella tells her, "Because he trusts us and loves us." And Annabella's father says, "Because he respects magic. He abandoned everything immediately because he understands these are cosmic eternal forces that allow us this telepathic communion." She laments underestimating me, wondering how she could have miscalculated so egregiously, like myself, when she lied about being pregnant, wondering how it could have gone so awry. The game marches on. As far as secrets are concerned, I find it difficult to envision there are many left, though time tells all. My revelations are thus. Willow is a notorious whore in Tinseltown, a cheap escort who charges $500 an hour, shoots and produces hardcore pornography under the name Willow Star, drives a Tesla, had an abortion, was arrested for solicitation once, and is a drug addict who does coke every day, and MDMA frequently as well. It has also come to light that throughout the screening of Eliza Yellow, Willow was boring through my headshot inches away from her face, the entire screening blasting the psychic landscape with horror energy. And Alistair admits now put him on edge at the thought of her playing her games at my expense, and made him hesitate and not take the letter. And though I could have barked like a dog, it does seem like a hat on a hat to ask someone in the psychic crucible to be prepared for something you do not entreat him to do in person. Though I admit I knew what he wanted, and I am ashamed of myself for not being braver. It has also come to light that Willow poisoned my mind to wish death upon Alistair while in New York in our cosmic courtship, because she is a deceptive skank who abuses God's power, because she in fact hates me and only loves conspiracy, guile, bullshit Hollywood show business intrigue. One of a coven of nepotism whores who sell themselves cheap for thrills. When you have the world at your fingertips, all that's left is vapid polyamory and psychic occultism. Though, now, when you have the world at your fingertips, all that's left is vapid polyamory and psychic occultism. Though, now, we see. They in fact understand little to nothing about magic. Its practice, its operation, its print. They print out pictures and stare at them. Amateur hour. Ouija boards are for children. All that remains is her phone number and their physical address. Ironically, all I have to do is pay $20 and get a map of the stars, which has Alistair as the next to last stop on your glamorous jaunt. I have yet to do that. I would prefer to acquire it by magic. In my meditative reverie. Listening to Willow be a sick, glamorous slut. Apex Whore Olympics champion. I now see also the Hebrew alphabet. And along with documenting Willow's luxuriously loose cunt, its behavior, its conversing, its roamings along the mortal coil, and blasting her with psychic rage, I have taken to writing the letters down, the gematria value, if I am austere enough, will yield her number, their address, her location, at any time. Perhaps all at the same time with a single word. Monday, January 13th. In psychic reverie with Willow as she fucked a man for money the second time today by 10 a.m., I had the thought, which they all heard. She really does fuck at least 6 to 8 men a day. To which she quipped, 20 a day! Sometimes guys come in 15 minutes. Sometimes guys come in 2 hours. Sometimes I fuck 5 guys in an hour. Sometimes I fuck 5 guys at the same time. I'm a freaky, skanky, slutty bitch. As of now, today, she has had 5 partners by 3:30 in the afternoon, which is 1:30 in the city of Archangels. Now when she feels me in the room, she earns her paycheck with zeal, earns her STDs equally zealous, telling me, "You hear that, Ethan? And I scream, "Die of AIDS, bitch!" January 21st, 10:16 a.m. My mind is an inferno, the pillar of fire. I spent all this time on the street, all this time trusting that the filmmaker who means so much to me had reverence and understanding of the craft, the power, the kingdom, the power, and the glory. Since New Year's Eve, I have embarked upon this campaign to take my mind back. As we all know now, Willow will not ever let me go. And still, they reduce everything, high magic, sacerdotal royal art, to base neurological hormonal impulses. Annabella espousing she sees her father in me, which must be true. They, Willow and Annabella, each see their fathers in me. And though Lisa is a conjuring of their malignant design, Willow specifically, it is also true she must also see her father in me. Annabella alleges she would come to me, but that Alistair doesn't approve. And perhaps she would molest me immediately. Perhaps, as she claims, she would leave Alistair, who alleges she is in love with me, and laments that she fantasizes about me, which was never my intention in writing. Perhaps it's all bullshit, as she has children, and I am a pauper. I know how tired we all are. I know how the depth of their prowess is the surface tension atop the ocean. And I know this is the only way, as much as it kills me to admit. I have to persist. Days ago, in my reverie, as Willow made her living in Park City, Utah, shooting snow buddy pornography in hot tubs and cabins and the like, what a producer. How far the affluent must descend for thrills and excitement. She begged me for reprieve, for forgiveness, to let her go, saying, "What gives you the right? It's just a game," and the like. All the while moaning like a whore and eating ass and probably getting pissed on and getting bukkake poured all over her. I replied, "Some game? What a game? What you have obviously never understood, as this is some Hollywood fad, and has been a long time, is that this power is God's divine, cosmic, eternal thought forces. The pressure of intention causing quantum entanglement. And as a result of your perpetual abuses of divinity, which is the pinnacle of evil, and as I have a divine decree to protect the world, God is everywhere conserving the world. I have no choice but to take you under my aegis, under my wing, and watch you like a hawk forever, because I do not trust you in the world. Your abuses are flagrant. You are the high priestess of Sodom and Gomorrah, and so now you're either Lot or Lot's wife. You could have been cool for once in your base existence. Instead, you thought it appropriate to piss and shit all over King Solomon's temple, claiming your territory upon Yakin and Boaz, and so I had no choice. I didn't want to marry a woman who describes herself as ratchet, who has upwards of 1,000 sexual partners in a decade, whose abuses of divinity are equally egregious. But this is the game. These are the stakes. Life and death. Providence in hell, oblivion in light, submit or die. The perfect minute approaches. When constructing my sigils, I always hover over the table, and after my compass is set to define them, whatever it may be, I conjure her face in the center of the circle. Their house once as well. Cast my arc through the manifested creation, bound by the irrational eternity of pi, and recite my mantra, often screaming into the sigil between each arc cast. It is about intention, control, submission, or death. 81, 64, 49, 36, 25, 16, 9, 4, 1. I cast my sigil over your eye. Bend the knee, bitch, or you fucking die. 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 3, 9, 6, 6, 9, 3, 1, 4, 2, 8, 7, 5. I cast my sigil over your eye. Bend the knee, bitch, or you fucking die. Die, bitch. Submit or fucking die. 5, 7, 8, 4, 2, 1, 3, 9, 6, 6, 9, 3, 89, 55, 34, 21, 13, 8, 5, 3, 2, 1, 1. I cast my sigil over your eye. Bend the knee, bitch, and you fucking die!